Hey guys, in this video I want to show you how to build 8-figure teams. So if you're already running like 6-7-figure e-commerce business, I want to show you exactly how to build 8-figure teams and the systems and teams that will propel you to 8-figure level, and from there you're in the pathway to 9-figure levels. So here's, some of the mistakes that I have done. We'll cover exactly why you don't have to rush to hire, know who you deal with, the corporate structure, and scaling up. So these are the things that I'll cover in this video, guys. And again, if you're like 6-7-figure entrepreneur, first of all, make sure you like and subscribe this video. But the hiring at some stage will become like the #1 priority, right? More important than anything, more important than any of the other job responsibilities that you have. For example, for me, hiring right now takes probably like 50-60% of my time. So make sure that you give it a proper priority at certain stage. I'll show you these like different stages with hiring, what you need to do at the certain stage. And these things, guys, have helped to scale a company to multiple 8 figures per year. So that's why they're very, very important, very, very powerful. So make sure you pay attention to this video, guys. First principle, right? Don't rush to hire. Only hire when it hurts until you have like $1 million in the bank. I'll explain in a second. So a lot of entrepreneurs, they would hire like a lot of drop shippers. They would gain some momentum. Let's say you have a winning product. Okay, awesome. Let's hire like 5 people. Let's hire product research, product tester. Like, let's hire all of these people. And then obviously the winning product just goes down at some point, right? Like, because like it was not refined, or the model itself was too vulnerable. But now you hire so many people, now you have the overhead, right? Now it hurts, so your profit margins actually shrink. So what I would recommend is like, don't hire too many people at the same time and hire like one person at a time. Make sure you max out that person until you have like $1 million in the bank. We have one client in our program, e-commerce Scaling Secrets program, amazing guy. Like he scaled his business to like 7 figures pretty much by himself with 1 employee, right? That is efficiency, right? And he runs like 25% profit margins. Last year, he's done over $1 million in profit with his business with 1 employee. His margins are extraordinary because he's efficient and he doesn't hire like excessive people. If he doesn't need them, he doesn't hire. Only hire when it hurts until you have like 1 million in bank. Don't get too relaxed. Don't expect that people will like you bring like 10-20 people on board and that those people will build your business for you. Like most likely they will not, especially if you're not hiring like top talent. Top talent you'll have to pay like the top dollar for. Like top talent, we'll get to that in a second. But let's say you want to hire like chief executive officer or chief operating officer, chief financial officer. Those people will cost. Those people will cost like $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year. Initially, while you're on this like path, like you have to be very efficient and very lean in terms of hiring. That's what I've seen at least working. Maybe there are like different ways. Obviously, there are ways of companies going from like for example, Thrasio, one of the big like the buying e-commerce businesses, they went from 4 people to 1,000 people in 3 years, but they have also gotten like so much funding, right? So if you're scaling very fast and you're hiring like too many people at the same time, if you have funding secured, yes, that is a possibility, but that's totally different model. Probably most of you guys will not have like funding, will not have like millions of dollars that you have access to. So you'll have to be very cost efficient initially as you are growing your business. So the best ROI mostly will come from not hiring someone rather than hiring. So let's say you decided not to hire someone and that person would be like a bad fit for your company, and you would spend like 2-3 months spending time, resources, energy, training that person, bringing them up to speed, and that person just turned out to be like a bad hire. Now all of those resources are wasted. So it's best to hire slow, and there's this principle: hire slow, fire fast. I want to show you this video. It's from Kyle Icahn. He's one of the most legendary investors of all time. You can watch it on your own time. But he bought the company, right? And then he started evaluating like how he could make the company more efficient. And he found that like there are like 12 floors of people in that company that he wasn't really sure what those people were busy with, what those people were occupied with. So he just like He asked one person, he asked consultant, he asked other advisor, and after some time, after that evaluation, like whether those people were necessary, he decided to fire all of them. So he fired all of them, and nothing in the company changed. That's literally like the worst kind of like hires like that you would have. You would notice that by the amount of impact that it creates in your business. If you fire someone and then things start to break, and then you realize, oh fuck, that person was really like important. I mean, that's bad fire. But if you fire people and you don't really notice the difference, it means that person was not needed or necessary in the first place, and that was a waste of time and resources. Overhead walks on two legs. Again, make sure you're very efficient at the beginning with hiring, with who you hire, with who you spend money on. Action, track record versus resume. Resume, it's like how we call the CV in our country. I don't know how, like, we'll call it CV, right? So CV is like what people say, yeah, I worked in this company, help them do this. This doesn't mean shit, right? Unless the person no exceptions actually, no exceptions to this, because the person might have been like a killer in the previous position, might have been like tremendously successful, but now they bring on to your company and they don't like something about it, or they have some bottlenecks with kind of implementing what they know. That person might not be successful in their new role in your company. So don't trust CVs, right? Trust the action, the track record. Okay, so you've done this. Now you're still in a trial period. In 1-2 months, I want to see the effort. I want to see everything that you do. I want to see how efficient that is. I want to see the impact that you create in our company. So make sure you focus on that first, rather than just what people say about themselves, or like, yeah, I've done this and done all of these things. Make sure you don't make the mistake of hiring someone but what they say about themselves. 100, the beginning experience to scale. Something that we have learned. Initially, you don't have, you just don't have, you let's say you operate like 7-figure business, you operate like on 15-20% profit margins, right? You're making like $150,000 to $200,000 per year, which is okay, but it's not something extraordinary. Now, if you want to bring someone experienced, that person will cost, like good people will cost like $100,000 a year or more. You simply don't have the capacity to hire those people. So you would bring hungry people that are willing to learn, that have the right attitude, straight out of college, RF university, like hungry to learn. You would train them, you would kind of like grow them into certain roles in your business. And then when you're scaling up, again, when you have like $1 million in the bank, I will use it as a benchmark, start scaling. Like you would start, bringing people with experience. Okay, so how do we take our company now from like, let's say $10 million to like $100 million? Okay, we need to bring someone who had experience growing companies from this level to this level. Okay, let's start looking. So now you start the recruiting process, you bring on the recruiters, like you start asking, you start reaching out to people. So now it's a totally different game. But initially you bring hungry people, you train them from scratch, and you bring them to where they need to be. Complementary opposite skills first. If I'm good at I'm good as a marketer, right? The last thing I need is like another marketer on my team, right? The last thing I need like someone who's more analytical than me. I need someone who's more like numbers driven than me. I need someone who can live and breathe the spreadsheets. Those things I would hire for and I would look for first. Revenue per employee KPI. In Reach Wallet, they had this metric at $2 million per employee, which is pretty like significant if you think about it. That company was like very efficiently run. I had a conversation with their chief operating officer, amazing guy, Sean. So like ideally you want to be here, right? He said like after 2 million like per employee it starts to break. It cannot be kind of like scaled farther from his experience, but try to get there. A lot of people would have like $100,000-$200,000 per employee. Like you're in business to make money. Like if you don't need some people, like it's better to have people like the same people on your team to do more tasks and they would make more money than bring a new person on board and that person would be just like kind of like extra overhead on your P&L, right? So be efficient at the beginning and then you can be more kind of like more open-minded, more lenient as you grow and as you have cash in the bank. Now, by the way, guys, whether you're like on this stage, you're like building that first million in bank, or you already have your scaling up, make sure you book a call with our team so we can see how we can help you to scale up farther. We have some amazing people in our private mastermind community. So people that you would learn, people who have done this, not just me, but also other people who have done this, who build amazing teams that you will learn a lot from. So make sure you book a call. There should be a link in the description. So know who you deal with. That's like one thing that will save you like probably like combined like months and months in your life, and also like stress and financial resources. Let's say you bring someone on board and they look very good like on paper, so they're like 5 different jobs they had. Give me contacts of these like three people that you worked for. Give me their contacts, either HR person, person they directly reported to, and just go on LinkedIn. If this company is on LinkedIn, just reach out to those people. Hey, my name is Alex, and we're considering hiring this person. She mentioned, or he mentioned, like they worked for you, for your team. Is there anything specific I should know about this person? And what would you say we should be aware of? And then would you be more open like to having like 10-minute conversation and just exchange? Like business owner oftentimes are willing to help other business owners. Yeah, this person was amazing. Hire them. If you can hire them, hire them. They're awesome. Or they'll say, this person, like they were good like initially at the beginning, but then they started to be slacking. They found another like 3 projects, and they were like all over the place. So we had to let them go. Now you save yourself like hours and fucking hours of time, like training that person, because initially the person might look good on paper, might look good in the conversation. On interview, they just like brilliant, perfect, right? So make sure you don't do those mistakes. Call the references, and if they don't give you the reference, just call them. Find those people. Okay, what are their names? Give me names. Like if they worked before, right? If you're hiring someone with experience. So if you hire someone without experience, obviously you didn't have those contacts, but you could still verify. Okay, so what were like maybe how good of the student they were, right? I mean, also it's not like ideal reference. What were like your other projects that you have done on side of work, right? Like maybe they have been like very involved in their subject of like education. They've done some projects. Show me, right? Like you want people that kind of like go above and beyond what was expected of them. So whatever projects they had, you would just get the reference to those. Personality paradigms. This is very important. There are different types of personalities. Like there's like entrepreneur, right? The people like bringing new ideas all the time, having like 50 different ideas at the same time. There are people that are more kind of like analytical, can get stuff done. There are people that are more, again, these people more like a sales guys. They can talk, they can adapt to different people. These people kind of like the hybrid, but you can see extraordinary, like it's kind of like some people more like people's people, and some people are more kind of like analytical, numbers driven introverts, right? So you, depending on the position, you would hire like a different person. If that's like support person, that person needs to be extroverted, like to talk to people, like to resolve, like to caring, right? If that's like a media buyer, you don't need that type of person for a media buyer position. For a media buyer, you need someone who understands numbers, who can read the data, who can sit behind the laptop 20 hours a day and actually enjoys that because they like the data, they like the numbers. That's a person you need for a media buyer. For a media buyer, like you don't want to waste your time with someone who's like wants to talk to like other people, bring these like all the creative ideas. Creative ideas are good, but they have to reflect to the numbers. So in that case, let's say you have the person who brings creative ideas, which is awesome, but then there's a person that looks at data and said, it doesn't fucking matter. This idea is so creative. It just doesn't work. People don't buy it. And that's it. You have the kind of like the synergy of those two. Then it becomes as powerful. But if it's only like creative, it doesn't work. So make sure you have the specific personalities for specific positions. Family. If person is, let's say, like disrespectful to their family, disrespectful to their like family members, friends, that person probably will not be will try to create conflicts within your company, right? So you look for those. Person, for example, is irresponsible. Let's say they have kids and they just abandon the kids. Find that out. Work history, like again, references from previous employees. Find out what those people, how they perform in previous positions, because history, like oftentimes, most of the time, repeats itself. Corporate structure, don't overcomplicate. That's number one rule. Like initially, you're not build like some people building like Fortune 500 company and they're doing drop shipping, which is depending like on winning products and whether ad accounts will not get shut down. Like, don't do that. Don't overcomplicate, keep it simple, keep your overhead low, eliminate like layers of management until you're at least like at 8-figure level. Until like 8-figure level, keep it as simple as possible. If you need like 100 people to do like 8 figures, your system is fucking broken. Like something is broken. Like you don't need that many people to do those kind of numbers. Stack people in, multiple skills from the same person. For example, if media buyer can efficiently like video edit, and they can efficiently create the product copy, and initially that's what you need to get to like 100, 500, 1 million per month, then do it. Again, maximize profit margins at the beginning, stack cash, right? And over time you can start hiring and you can bring like more professional like layering, but initially don't do that. Communication internally, also don't create levels of communications, at least internally. Over time you can do it. Simplicity, just like one person reach out to another, figure stuff out, no layers. Hey, to figure something out, I have to ask this person for permission. No, like just people have to resolve it between themselves. Weekly calls between team members or team leaders as time goes and as you become more structured. So weekly calls, you would have a call with this person. Initially, to bring someone on board, I would recommend daily calls. So let's say you're training a media buyer, have calls with them daily. Like have calls with them like 2 times a day. See what they do, see how they do it, give them feedback, see if they're like up to speed, see if they're like giving their like 110% to the position. Make sure you keep them accountable at the beginning as they ramp up. So video editing, design media buyer. So media buyer, for example, so here's typical structure for us at least. Media buyer can coordinate video designer, video editing designer. They also coordinate with fulfillment, whether we have certain products in stock, whether we can push them, how is support going, how is shipping times, right? So media buyers like become in our company pretty much like project manager with a lot of things on their plate. So scaling up. First of all, add more to existing team members. Max out each team member. Evolve from the inside. So if team members maxed out, but they want to grow within your company, give them the ability to grow. Give the media buyers ability to train other media buyers. Hey, you're now media buying team lead, right? Now you can train other media buyers. Now you can structure the training process. Growth path for each team member. If person doesn't have the growth path on your team, they're pretty much just doing like, whatever. I mean, those people will always be there on your team. Like it's impossible that everyone kind of like is looking for a leadership position. Everyone is looking to be like a top executive in your company. But for key team members, make sure you identify the growth paths. SOPs for each task, Loom, recorded Zoom calls, just SOPs, processes. So then it becomes more and more important as you hire more and more people. As you're scaling up, again, it will come down for you to hire people with experience. You're like at 8 figures and you want to build like 9-figure e-commerce operation. How do you do that? You hire people that have done that taken companies from 8 figures to 9 figures. Sometimes the difference between companies like 7, 8, and 9 figures could be just levels of talent that these people have. So over time, that becomes a top priority. Poaching, you poach people from like other company. Let's say company had someone who's done specific tasks, chief operating officer, who took the company from this level, from 8 figures to 9 level. Okay, now you're looking for that person. And you're looking, okay, how to lure them in. What offer they might respond to, okay, so we'll give you like 20% bump in salary, we'll give you some equity in our company, we'll give you, better like benefits, whatever benefits or whatever advantages would bring those people in, because those are the people that can have like tremendous impact, right? Because they have done that before and they can take your company to that level. And especially if incentives are aligned. Okay, so you have shares in our company, equity in our company. We're looking for the exit. We're looking for 9 figures, and we're looking to sell the company. If we sell it, it will be 100, 200, $3 million, $200 million. Exit, if you do that, you have equity in our company. You'll make like on top of everything you make like every single year, like you'll make extra few $1 million, for example, right? So incentives are aligned with top team members. Typically come team structure, guys, this will take you to 8 figures. I mean, 7 figures, I'm not even writing it. Like 7 figures you can do by yourself. I was doing like $500,000 all by myself. Like it just doesn't have to be complex. By myself, editing videos, like doing all of the stuff. One of guys, like in our program, private client in ESS mentorship program, amazing guy. He has 2019. He's done $2.4 million with one virtual assistant. Last year, he's done $4.2 million in sales, with over $1 million in profit, and also by himself with one virtual assistant. Right? You don't need complex strategies. This is like you would have CEO, chief operating, make sure your books are done well, product sourcing, fulfillment, so you have the agent. Then you'd have support, customer service, which would coordinate with product sourcing, fulfillment, make sure the product quality is good. Media buying, marketing. So this is the, media buyer can evolve into this role and oversee all of these depending how many units you would have. So media buyer would oversee the video editors, tech person, copyright, graphic design, junior media buyers. So this person here would be kind of like responsible for the whole unit and report directly to you, right? So you can see the structure is very simple, but again, this will get you to 8 figures if done right. Don't overcomplicate. Don't create this, this like chief operating officer and then reports to like project manager. And then, I'm asking you, okay, what volume you do like per month? We would do like 300,000. What the fuck? No, man. I mean, you gotta simplify. You gotta simplify initially, because like all of these complexities, they just like nothing gets done. Like this person reporting this person waiting for a response. Now, especially if you have a remote team, like you have people in Philippines, you have people in Europe, you have people in Asia, you have people in the United States. Like the time zones difference by itself will make it so difficult for a person to like respond. So if someone messages today, gets response tomorrow they'll start, they want a feedback on that task, they'll message person again, the person responds day after. Like the whole cycle being delayed, nothing gets fucking done. So make sure you simplify it as much as possible at the beginning, and then you can professionalize as time goes, and you have more cash in the bank, you have more resources, and then you can bring chief like C-suite people on, and they can take over. Ultimate hack, guys, this will save you, this will make you like millions and tens of millions of dollars if you do it right. So for example, right, so there is this company called Ridge Wallet. Ridge Wallet is very fast growing company, vice president of operations. So here, Ridge Wallet, this company says here it has like 72 employees. It also hiring, this company last year done $50 million with 20 employees. Now they're like, you can see they're increasing, people working quite a lot in this company, as you can see. But you can see they are hiring, they're growing, right? So now it's like, it says 72, and I'm not sure how correct that is. But you would find here this structure. Every particular like person on their team. So for example here, right? You have like this person is CMO, right? So CMO. Now you have another person here who is like, okay, this person is responsible for like influencer marketing. Okay, great. So influencer marketing. So initially you could just like lay out all of these people in a row, right? So you take here, director of digital marketing. So you would lay out all of these people, and now let's say, so this is like, let's say marketing team, right? Then let's say they probably have some more like operation. So it's so hard, like I think it's mixed up. Director of customer experience. Cool. Director of customer experience. Now director of customer experience would be more like on the operations side, right? So the goal of this exercise is for you to kind of like reverse engineer the corporate structure. You need to get to a certain level. Now, so let's say you wanted to go to like $50 million a year, right? You go to this company and you would like reverse engineer the corporate structure that they have. So that's more like operations, right? So you would kind of like, okay, so what people do I need to bring? Marketing. What people do I need to bring in order to get to that level? So here it seems like this person is in charge, chief marketing officer, then the director of customer experience, probably the chief operating officer would be here, or director of operations. So those people you would need, right? And that's one of the things that you will learn over time, and that's probably what we have learned as well. I mean, that's a mistake as well that we've done, is hiring people from the bottom works to get some momentum, but it doesn't work for scale. Like to bring, like it's better to hire people who are more like senior, and then those people build teams underneath them and they manage those teams. Initially, to start with, I mean, people grow within the company, it's absolutely normal. But as time goes, you wanna hire people that would, like you see them as leaders anyway, and they would hire their respective teams. So you're not even involved in hiring process. So you'd hire the director of operations, and then they would hire director of customer experience. They would hire the operations manager. They would hire the director of retail operations. They would hire the whoever there is. So partnership manager, it's a marketing team. Human resources, right? They would hire that people because it's part of the operation. So each of these people would become a team leader. And this is how you reverse engineer kind of like, okay, so we need to bring in chief marketing officer, we need to hire chief operating officer, and we need to hire people ideally that had experience taking companies to $50, $100 million a year. Now your kind of like definition of that person and exactly who you're looking for becomes very precise, which makes it easier for you to hire. So reaching out to recruiters, hey, we're a company that does $30 million a year, and we are looking to get to $100 million a year. So we are looking for someone who, chief operating officer and like chief marketing officer of companies that have grown above $100 million a year. So we need those people. This is it, right? And then you bring them in, and this is what you will see this like leap, right? Massive leap in growth from bringing those people on. Guys, it is an advanced topic. It's not for everyone. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, apply for Code Wizard team if you want to level up with your business, if you want to scale up faster, massively, smarter, profitably, more profitably. Apply for Code Wizard team. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.